So if you've noticed the thumbnail of like this video as well as my last monthly favorites, I think like posing with a plant has kind of become my thing. But just look at her, you guys, she's so beautiful. Hi guys, it's Magali and welcome to another monthly favorites video. Feel like this month really flew by. June has just been quite nice for me. It started raining in Mumbai. I'm someone who generally hated the monsoon, but this is the first monsoon in all of my 29 years of existence, which I'm really enjoying. It has brought some respite from the heat. All of my tropical plants are just growing so wonderfully because it's my first monsoon since I got plants, and even though they're not directly getting the rain, they absolutely know that it's growing season and they have all just gone crazy, and it's kind of minimized all of the downside of monsoon in my head also. This is a little syngonium plant. This is my philodendron micans. Feel like I picked up both of these plants to show you guys because these are my fastest growers this season, and also because both of them are kind of peachy pink plants, and I put them in like peachy pink planters, slightly different shades of course. Look at this stem, you guys, so pretty. Even my t-shirt kind of proclaims my love for plants. And this is a monthly favorites video, so I should stop talking about plants. I haven't made that many videos in June. It's been my least productive month so far video wise. I was just feeling a little low on ideas, and I thought I would rather put out good stuff than just put out things weekly for the sake of it. And I have a few videos that are in production, but they are more elaborate and they're taking a little bit of time. July is going to be a big month because I'm working on something very exciting, very scary also. Okay, should stop giggling. Let's get serious. Before we actually move into the favorites, I want to take a minute to thank everyone who's decided to be a member on my channel. There's Tejas, Ashima, Shika, Shakuntala, Denali, Karan, Ishani, Ashwini and Goin Goan. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to know about the membership program, then you know there is this little join button next to the subscribe button below, or even in the description bar there's this link that says be a member, so you can check it out. It entails a very small monthly payment. You get some small perks as well as my gratitude. Membership is just like a little option that I offer, but you don't have to be a member if you're subscribed to my channel, if you interact with my videos by commenting, by liking them, if you enjoyed the content. That helps a great deal. So in the month of June, for the first time in a really long time, I felt like I was actually occupied with doing things. Even though I stayed at home, I didn't have a lot of free time. I kept learning new things, trying new things, researching new things, working on the project I talked about, and that's kind of why the month went by so fast in my head. Didn't really dedicate too much time to beauty other than the stuff that I use like normally, so I don't really have anything new to share with you guys this month. It's just kind of stuff that, you know, if you watch these videos regularly, you've definitely seen them in previous videos. In fact, I think one of the things I talked about last month itself, but you know, I'm just keeping it real and actually showing you guys my favorites, starting with this serum from Paula's Choice. I talked about this last month. It is the Boost 10% azelaic acid booster with licorice and salicylic acid. This stuff is what's been keeping my skin really healthy over the last 2 months. I kind of was debating whether I want to buy another one because I have a lot of skincare and this is expensive, but now I have decided I'm buying another one because this really makes a difference to my skin, and it has just made my skin behave well more consistently. There are less bad skin days. My skin is not the same every day of the month. A lot of it is hormonal, of course, because your menstrual cycle does usually mess with your skin. Like for a lot of us, that's really normal. And then just anything else that may be happening in your life, like stress and all, just takes a toll on your skin. But as I said, less bad skin days since I put this in my routine, and the bad skin days are less intense, so you know, less angry, like, and the pores are just better. I see a very visible change when I use this. This is not the only azelaic acid product that has made a difference for me. I first discovered that my skin responds very well to this ingredient when I use the ordinary azelaic acid booster, but the ordinary is not in India, and the Paula's Choice one is a better version because it's available in India The texture is so much better. It's a light cream, it's not silicone like the ordinary one, and it also has licorice and salicylic acid, and I know for fact salicylic acid also is something that my skin loves, and most oily skin type of people who suffer from acne, pimples, salicylic acid is good for you guys as long as like you don't overdo it or anything. I love this stuff. I finished up the Pond's Super Light Gel Moisturizer, so I'm gonna shout out to that also because it's really good, it's really affordable. I think I talked about that last month, but you know, it's just really nice for summertime or monsoon time, like high humidity and oily skin, because it's just enough, it's just what you need, you know. Another one I've just begun using is this sample I got from Laneige. It's the Water Bank Gel Cream that I just started using a few days ago. These samples look really tiny, but you need very little and you'll be surprised at how far they go. It does have a fragrance, not ideal, I know, I wish it was fragrance free, but it's not caused any problems for me. It's a bougier version of the Pond's one that I mentioned. Pond's and this Water Bank would go as dupes. That if you're on a budget, this if you would like to splurge a little bit. Will I buy the full size after I finish this? Maybe. One hair product that I love and I use on each and every wash day. Wait, not each and every wash day, but every time I want my hair to look like this, is this Arata hairstyling gel. I think I started transitioning to my natural hair texture around this time last year based on some of your comments only. I used to always straighten my hair, I used to always curl my hair with heat tools, and someone was like, why don't you try the curly girl method? So first time I got that comment, I was actually kind of annoyed. Then I started reading about the curly girl method and I was actually kind of intimidated because there's so much of information out there and it all seems very, very complicated. But I read a little bit more about it, I watched a few more videos, and I started kind of using the curly girl method in my regular hair care. I don't follow it strictly, I haven't cut out SLS, I haven't cut out silicone, but I followed the methods of like scrunching and styling, and it's made such a difference in my hair. The fact that this is my natural hair texture, I mean, I love it and it's just given me a lot of confidence. It's also like way easier and my hair is way healthier because I used to use heat 1 to 2 times a week and now I use heat maybe once every 2 months or something on my hair. It also holds up wonderfully even in this extreme humidity that we've been having, like 90% humidity. I'm not completely scared of frizz because frizz also brings volume, and if you were to have like zero frizz, your hair would also fall flatter, but it keeps things manageable. I don't have to use heat, I don't have to use hairspray, and the gel is basically flaxseed based. So this is the one product that I buy the most of in my regular life. Like, I think I go through one of these like every 1.5 to every 2 months because I don't use it every time. When I'm just at home and I'm not going to be filming, I don't use it, but when I'm coming on camera, then I use it. And the last product that I have for this month is not really beauty related, but something that has been helping me kind of holistically, I guess. It is this giant tub of high strength wild fish oil. I started taking fish oil supplements regularly towards the end of last year, I think, after doing a lot of research, and I feel like it has made a very big change. When you start taking it, it's not going to make a difference right away, but you need to build a habit and then you might see some changes. My hair has been healthier, my nails have been healthier. They used to crack or break and nowadays they grow so long on their own, and the only difference I've made in like my routine is adding, you know, fish oil regularly, like having one of these every day. Sometimes I forget, so at least aim for every other day, you know. If you remember every single day, it's good. My nails are only short now because I've been working on pottery again and I can't have long nails for that. I like taking high strength fish oil because those are the ones that are proven to have some benefits. If you take one a day, that's more than enough. This is a natural source of omega-3 and it supports heart health, brain health, eye health, joint health, assists your nervous system, and also gives mood balance. It's based on scientific evidence. these are 1500 mg or milligram per capsule. So let me show them to you guys. These are a little bit big, but I don't usually have any problem swallowing big ones. Even Swiss makes these supplements like in a bunch of different sizes and quantities. I just went with the biggest box, which is 200, because I know that I have this all the time. I want to keep having it. So you usually end up saving if you buy a bigger amount. That's it for product recommendations for the month, and now we move on to the customary popular culture recommendations as well. I think I have a movie to talk about, a couple of TV shows loosely, and I also have some music that I really want to share with you guys. First, I'm going to talk about this movie from a couple of years ago. I don't think I watched it in June. I watched it last month, but I forgot to talk about it. It's this movie called 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So it's made by the same guy who made this other movie that I really love called In Brooks. He specializes in making these movies underlying, they're kind of sad, but they're not the sad movies that will necessarily make you cry. They're also light and funny while being heavy. I avoid watching outrightly sad films, the ones that I know will depress me and will really make me like cry a lot and all. I think they're important, but I avoid them. However, I loved watching this film because even though it's sad, it had its light and funny moments, and it stars Frances McDormand, who I love. She is so amazing, and her role in the film is also just really lovely. She's so badass. I am just sad I didn't watch it earlier. And then for TV shows, I have been loving this Law and Order show from the early 2000s. So it initially premiered in 2001. Law and Order is this whole TV franchise. There have been so many Law and Order shows over the years. This one is called Law and Order Criminal Intent, and it's set in New York, where I believe most of the shows are set in New York. And it stars Vincent D'Onofrio and Catherine Herbe. Vincent D'Onofrio is so funny in this show. It's not a funny cop show, but it's entertaining to watch. It has its light moments, and you know, if you enjoy watching cop shows, they are all basically propaganda, but this is a good one. I like the way the episodes are constructed, like the whole flow of them. Some of the cases that they show are really interesting. I also get really into the episodes, and I get really satisfied if I can figure out who did it or how they did it before they actually tell us. And they're not very predictable, so that's even more satisfying when you figure it out. There are good twists and turns without being absurd, and the setting of early 2000s in New York, I don't know, it's a nice period. Another show that I've really enjoyed is Loki. Loki is going on this month, and I don't know if I should even talk about like an MCU show because everybody's talking about it, and I'm not even a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, you know. I'll watch some of the shows, some of the movies, but I don't follow along really strictly. But I've been enjoying Loki, it's good. I watched WandaVision a couple of months ago and I liked it. I like how the shows can expand upon more than the movie. Like, that's why I generally watch TV shows, because they allow you to like construct characters and build these elaborate twists in a way that a movie will never really allow. Loki's been entertaining, and I'm interested to see where it goes. You know, I look forward to new episodes every week. In an era where we can like binge most of the shows, like just consume the whole thing at one time, it's nice to anticipate, you know, one episode a week. It just really builds up that excitement. And now for the music recommendation that I have. It's actually from this Japanese jazz fusion band called Cassiopeia. I just recently discovered them, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago on Spotify, and that's why I love Spotify, because it really throws these recommendations at me that I would have never known to search for, but somehow the algorithm knows that I love it. The album is called Mint Jams. I believe it's from 1982 or something. Even though they're a Japanese band, it's just jazz, you know, just instrumentals, so there are no language barriers really. You don't have to worry about that. Though sometimes actually listening to music in a language you don't understand is really nice. I know so many people are fans of K-pop also. I've not been able to get into that genre, but I've really been enjoying Mint Jams. It's such a high energy album that I love listening to it when I wake up, a little while after I wake up, and when I want to get into a zone to do some work. It just makes me want to move a little. I'm not a dancer, but as I said, high energy. And one thing that really struck me is how it doesn't sound dated. Like, I enjoy 1980s music. Most of like western pop from 1980s, you listen to it and you're like, oh, this is very 80s. But Mint Jams just sounds so fresh, just like the name suggests. It does not sound old or dated in any way. I thought that I would tell you guys about it because I really like music without vocals. When I want to work, like, it makes really good background music, because if there are words, that can sometimes distract me a little, because I like following along the words and verses of a song that I enjoy. So it pulls me out of my task and I'm kind of singing along even in my head. So just instrumental music is really good in that sense. It's like a background soundtrack that doesn't really distract you. So that was everything that I loved for the month of June. If you guys have any recommendations for me, please do share them in the comment section below. That is all that I have for today, and I will see you guys soon.